Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello again. It is the wonderful world of native Warband, and we're bringing... Oh, okay, maybe not him, but we're bringing you another native battle. Oh dear. With a few people crashing out, as you can see. So anyway, it is the Rhodoks versus the Vaegirs. Now, you have obviously the Calatravans and the 15th, along with Perth Highlanders, and the 90th on the Vaegirs, and you have on the Rhodoks, you have the 77Y, the Capuche, and let's see who else is in the 12th RE. So, unfortunately, they seem to have lost a few of their numbers, so there is an advantage for the Rhodoks, and let's see what's going on here. So there's Rider Kals, and Rider Petos, and Moofrog, great name, great name. So, let's see what's going on as we're looking at Rider Django. And these guys circling around, getting themselves ready to move out. Now, over here you see your mighty spearmen, the Perth Highlanders. And over on one side you have polearm gentlemen. So you can see large halberds there, along with an extremely long spike on a long pole. Now that will be fantastic for going up against the cavalry. However, over here, you have a couple of special needers. So you've got now the 90th Invitational and Patrick Spence. So these two guys, there we go. So those two guys now dealing with technical problems. And oh crikey, it looks like we've got multiple people leaving the server. Or at least crashing out as far as I can tell. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Now, here is Archer of Calatrava, followed in by Papanos of Calatrava also. Now these guys obviously following in after these guys here. See, Calatravans, led of course by Marshal Raoul of Calatrava. Now, oh look at this. Look at this battle going on, the Battle of the Hedgehogs. So you can see the 15th Huskars coming under massive fire from the 77Y and the Caribou Capuche. And you've got obviously the cadets over here on the side. And there's the charge. The charge has been given as the Hedgehogs are now being attacked as the horses ride in at the same time. So huge amounts of horsey goodness going on as King Senkris of the 15th is taken down. And now you can see Knight Gaz moving in and trying to take out what remains of the meleeers. You can see these guys, the archers, now trying to defend themselves with extremely large sticks. And unfortunately don't seem to be having much joy as poor old Archer Ian is now taken out. And you've obviously got this fine fellow up here, Rider Godfrey, doing his best to try and take out the 77Y. As well as this man who seems to be riding a hedgehog. As you can see, so many spears sticking out of this man. It's quite ungainly. And another spear now sticking out of that man. As he gets taken down by a cadet. Team killed by a cadet. I'm sorry, that's just funny. So, anyway, as you can now see, these guys under a little bit of pressure. You can see the archers pretty much being finished off. There we go. There goes Aminius. And you can see Calatravans there. Killer Glot taking down Papanos. And now we're waiting to see what's going on, as it seems to be a lot of people, for some reason, leaving the server. So, not sure why that is, but, oh goodness me, look at this guy here. Fur La Capuche, currently with a load of spears in his back. And now, oh my goodness, there's the ex-horse of, and you can see now, Broommaster Radwell, making a clean sweep of everything. And gets out the big spiky ball. Correction, he gets out the big bull hammer. Whoops, and nearly team kills one of his own horses. So now he's got the large hammer out, and he's going to give them a good hammering. And he does exactly that into Highlander Vlad. So now you can see a few people left remaining, and you can see the fire coming in from the hills as Polar Bear, veteran Foot of Gondor. There we go with a nice kill onto Rider Callus. And now you've got Killer Got of Calatrava taking a bit of fire as he's trying to defend from those extremely large swords that the Vaegirs have got. Sorry, the Rhodoks, I should say. And finally being clubbed to death by Thomas. So, As you can see, a large number. Archer Epidemic is the only man remaining. Now, let's see if we can find out where he's located. So you can see lots of the 77Y moving out. Oh, goodness me. This is the Hedgehog Brigade, boys and girls. The Hedgehog Regiment. These guys are not to be messed with. Especially, oh, yep, and getting in the way of the tree. These things happen. So let's see if we can find out what's going on. So there's Demon Dan, who appears to be still alive, but let's see if we can find Archer Epidemic. So everybody is moving towards Mr. Archer Epidemic. There he is. Ow, he's being attacked from all directions. Poor Archer Epidemic, barged to the floor and clubbed to death by Sir Token of the 77Y. And we move on to the next round. And so we are in on the next round, and there is Thomas, Captain Thomas no less, in charge of the cavalry, as you can see, moving out with Duke Fix as well. So there's the Ricolus and Ray, Rostafarius, Sir Token, obviously, and Scotch Room, Ponyman. Looks a bit pony. So, here are the Perth Highlanders. Fearsome men to a... Yeah. Fearsome men to a man? No, that doesn't sound right, does it? But anyway. Fearsome soldiers to a man, I think is the better term. And now you can see there's Marshal Raoul of Calatrava going to be leading his troops into battle, along with the Perth Highlanders, supported by the 15th Riders. There's, of course, Moofrog and Callis. And you've got at the rear, Wiz 24. So, let's find out what they're going to do, because obviously what happens here, practicing his swings, also good. You know, you've got to warm up, ready for the battle. Make sure that you're in the right frame of mind, you know, for taking an arrow to the face. Oh, goodness me, arrows coming over long distance already. So, essentially, the gig is you are going to have a situation... Oh, nice kill onto Clink. This is what happens when you stand in front of an archer. So, poor old Clink is no more. And essentially what happens is you're going to have a shield wall. So, here's your shield wall. And the shield wall, essentially, is to protect the archers so that they can fire relatively unmolested back against the enemy. Now... For some reason, the archers have now decided to move out to the left-hand side and move over to work with the capuche fellas. Now, there you can see these guys now setting up that location and moving over to the left-hand side. So there's Canny Miller and friends. And here, of course, is Avior, Crazy Dave, Montfort. And there's Sergeant Ollie looking, yes, looking very Witcher-like, in fact. So, as you can see, he's well armed. So, but not necessarily well armoured. So, there's Duke Punishment in there as well. And now you can see these guys. These are the guys who are going to be presenting essentially the front line to the enemy. Now, the problem is these archers over here, their left flank is not protected well. Now, previously over that location, they had their left flank protected. But now you can see... the archers, the likes of Abercrombie, you've got people moving in from the left-hand side. Here comes the cavalry. This is the opportunity that they were looking for. Let's see. Oh, it looks like, no, it's Captain Thomas, fortunately. Fortunately, it was Captain Thomas. So otherwise, that could have been a very nasty situation for those archers. So there's Chadtopia moving up together with this other line, the likes of Crazy Horse, and leading at the front, of course, Knight Gaz. So he's moving in as well. And there's Viking Olaf in there as well. And look, you can see the Hedgehog squad already digging for victory. So here is the shield wall. Now the shield wall is moving in against the other shield wall as they are powering in. You can see, oh, look at this. The enemy cavalry, or the 77Y cavalry, charging in, barging people to the ground, left, right and centre. As you can see, huge amounts of archers, huge amounts of spears come flying. Look at all these spears. Look at all these things. Javelins, spears, as you can see, quite a few sticking out of that pot sod. And now the battle is commencing. The melee begins. You've also got the horses barging in and out of all the areas. Archer Hunter gets taken down by Abercrombie. Now you can see these guys doing their best to try and defend their archers, as now the polearm guys are moving in, trying to get closer to the archers as best they can. You can see these polearms have got great reach, but Capuche also has a large pike per se, and that can actually do a significant amount of damage unless he's being run over by a horse. Now that's a dangerous situation for the horses there. Last thing you want to do is run into somebody and then get in a situation where you're being stabbed to death while sitting upon your horse. This is not conducive to healthy living. As you can see, one of the horses taken out. Oh, look at that. Oh, fantastic. And you can see, there we go, a little bit of spear work coming in from Lady Sansa Capuche. And poor old Butterball gets killed by a random javelin. So now over here you can see Canny Miller doing his best to defend himself against the attacks coming in from the 15th Archer. He's got a large chopper. Yes, I know. And you can see Huskarl Thompson over there with an anti-cavalry polearm. Oh, but it wasn't an anti-infantry one. Now you can see Auriculus working in to try and deal with the 15th Riders as they continue to circle their enemy. There's Wiz 124. He's got to be careful. King Senkris gets killed by the Captain General of Gondor. And now you can see G-Advance and friends moving in on the enemy. Let's see who this is. There's Lady Sansa Capuche. This guy's going to have a lot of trouble any minute. No, that's Canny Miller. And there we go. The last man left standing. Rostafarius takes down Wiz 24. And that is another win for the Rhodoks, and we move on to the next round. And so we return with the second round, third round even, yes. It's so easy to lose count. Captain Thomas, with his cavalry behind him. Over on the right flank, speaking from Thomas's right flank, that is, the archers, led by Marshal Malekith, the crossbowman, moving in, supported by Manu La Capuche, the fine, stalwart troops who will provide them with the shield wall. You also have two other sections over here, the Captain General of Gondor and additional members of the 77Y. There's Duke Punishment in with a very bad haircut. And obviously Sergeant Ollie with an even worse. And a little bit of discipline going on. So, these guys scanning it. There's the enemy. You can see them in the centre of the screen. Now they're going to be setting up the shield walls. And the archers are going to start engaging from long distance. You've got the enemy cavalry showing up. We're going to have to watch over here. This is going to be one of their flanks where they could get snuck up on by the horses. Now, hopefully, there we go. As expected, Thomas moves up on the right-hand flank to try and focus attention onto this section here. At least give them a little bit of a running chance of a defense. So now you can see they're going to be poking around the area. They've got to be careful to make sure that these mail-shirted horses do not take too much damage. The enemy cavalry moving over to the left. The arrows flying past the camera, as you can see, as they're trying to engage these guys as they're moving out. So obviously these guys are going to have their shields out as best they can. There you go, you can see them all sidestepping. This is like some kind of very bizarre version of Riverdance. But they are essentially moving that way so that they can actually engage or keep an eye on what's going on, and now can obviously block any arrows coming towards them. It does look very bizarre, I have to say. So the 15th Archers, Numitor, and you can see a few people taking the odd arrow every now and then. But the archers now, there we go, they're focus firing onto these guys. So here are the polearm guys at the front. They're now going to be setting up the shield wall as expected. The cavalry moving in behind them to offer a bit of support. You can see loads of fire coming in. Down goes Irish Musketeer. You can see the arrows, out come the javelins as well. These guys are not happy with the position they're in. They're going to start moving around as you've got more of the melee troops moving in to a closer position. And you can see now the archers looking to try and move over to the far left-hand flank. But it looks like the Rhodoks are up there and they are watching them very carefully. They are turning with them, and that was a very ambitious pole arm throw there by G Advance. And there we go, a nice kill by Gamer into Greyman. So now you can see the cavalry of the Rhodoks, including Rostafarius. They are guarding the right flank. Now, what's on the left flank? You can see there, now you've got the shield wall moving over to support at the same time as you have the section of melee moving up to attack. Oh dear, very unfortunate, as now you can see the Capuche guys going to be making a charge pretty soon, as now we are seeing what's going on. The Calatravans, yep, the Calatravans know the attack is coming. They are braced for the attack. In come loads of javelins. Look at those javelins flying in between the two people. Look at these guys, virtual hedgehogs. As you can see, Huskarl King J gets taken down by one of his own team. That's going to be an assassination attempt. Now you can see the Capuche guys moving back as they can see that fire coming through. And the amount of javelins that are coming in their direction is going to be a tricky situation for them. Now, as you can see here, it looks like these javelin men and the Perth Highlanders have decided to back off, as this shield wall, see, look at that, the shield wall not looking too bad. However, if you look over here at the 77Y and Friends shield wall, that is a pretty effective shield wall, except for when somebody moves out of the shield wall. But never mind, as you can see, look at all these, oh god, look at all these javelins. Absolutely insane. Just being tossed over the top of the hill. And that's a pretty effective shield wall, except for when somebody gets out of the shield wall location. So, that's the whole point about the shield wall, that protects the archers so that they can take out the enemy. And then, as you can see, loads of fire coming in as now these guys are attacking, and they're just taking so much fire. Javelin fire and archer fire and everything fire, and oh my goodness. And in goes a man with a big club. There's Radwell going in with his big spiky ball. As you can see, he's now taking a little bit of fire, and then the cavalry moves in. So now you can see the Rhodok cavalry moving in to take the best opportunity that they can. Where is the cavalry? Incoming from the rear is the Vegan cavalry. Oh, look at that. Fantastic fell on the first horse there. So poor old Rider Godfrey has lost his mount. And now he's going to be coming under a lot of fire from those archers. Look at that. The sheer amount of fire coming in from the archers is just devastating. Oh, look at that. A shot from the quick one into Rider Wiz 24. Fantastic shot. Rostafarius with his big spiky club takes down Rider Godfrey. And now we're waiting to see what happens as the melee is continuing. The cavalry is fighting amongst itself. And up here you have a collection of the Perth Highlanders now charging in. But they've got a large number of the Capuche guys to deal with. This is going to be a knotty situation. There's Paradise Capuche. And Malekith manages to team kill Thomas. Fantastic stuff. So Thomas has been team killed by his commanding officer, which is too funny for words, unfortunately. And Gaz has just killed Chopper Power. So always entertaining to see that. And now you can see loads of stabbing going on. This is all the melee that they're talking about. This is all the stuff that they are waiting for. And pretty much everyone has been taken out. So let's see who's left standing. Huskarl Balls. Now, where is Mr. Balls? Let's see. Oh no. So, let's see if we can find Huskarl Balls. Do you have the balls to fight back is the question. Where is this man? They're all searching for him, as indeed are we. Aha! What's this? I think some people are getting bored. So let's see if we can find Huskarl Balls. There we go. Charlie the Turtle kills him. And also Abercrombie gets a nice team kill onto punishment. And we're on to the next turn. Or the next round, I suppose. And so we return. After a map change. So this lovely rolling map, as you can see. Rolling hills. Plenty of trees for the cavalry to crash into. Which Charlie the Turtle was very kind to kind of prove my point in chat. As soon as I said that, he crashed into a tree. So the Knightly Gaz. And there's obviously Midgarder, the Surf Militia. And there's JHS, Slayer Boy, Chadtopia, Crazy Horse, oh god, Cadet Romeo, who's in leather only, oh dear, poor Romeo. Wherefore art thou, Romeo, on the floor dead with multiple arrows in him. And there's Magaraz, and of course Crusader Dutch Ref. So, those guys are making their way out, supported by the cavalry. Now, here are the 15th Archers. Now, you notice that these guys are actually longbowmen, or archers per se, rather than crossbowmen. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. This is their shield wall, the Huskars, from the 15th. And as you can see, just going over the crest of the hill, they should have good visibility on the guys in the valley. This will be an opportunity that they do not want to miss. There we go. They're getting set up now. That's going to give them advantage for both distance, because they're firing down the hill. This could be very important. Now you can see the archers now moving. So there's Snarfy in there as well. And Cadet Oko. And now they're coming under fire almost immediately. And you can see some of these guys trying to fire back without a shield wall. Look, you can see them taking arrows already. This could be a very knotty situation for the 77Y crossbowmen. But these guys are moving over. Look at that line up on the hill. Fantastic stuff. And now you can see there's Broommaster Radwell working together with a line of these guys. Look at them. Don't they look fantastic? Pulling back, trying to provide the cover for the archers that the archers desperately need in order to make any kind of survival. And the gamer has been assassinated with a hammer by G Advance. And, you know, this is interesting. You notice here that they've actually circumvented this area, working behind the hills to give them additional cover. And now they're actually moving up onto a nearby hill that will give them parity of height when it comes to opposing enemy, and also parity of approach. So essentially these guys, oh my goodness, look at all that fire coming in. The 77Y shield wall working well together, so Gaz holding that shield wall together, giving them a position for the archers to then move up on, which is what you see here. There's Snecker Mace, High Elf Ranger, English Hitman. Now, behind them, you have yet more from the 12th RE, working together with Devakitty and Usari. So you can see these guys also another shield wall working together. Now you've got a shield wall over on the right hand side as well. Now you can see these are the enemy shield walls. The Huskars now moving up on the left flank, being supported on the far left flank by the cavalry. But the cavalry have to be careful, because you've also got these spearmen, which could be a danger to them. And Snarfy with a nice kill, and the poor old Derposaurus is taken down. So you can see multiple kills here onto the archers. There we go. There goes another one. The archers are really suffering at the moment, so High Elf Ranger's got to watch himself. As you can see, these guys, look at this. Look at the amount of fire coming into these guys. Oh, heavens above. Look at that. You can just see the archers. It looks like one of the shields has just been lost. And there we go. They're trying to fill in the gaps in between the spots, as you can see. So there's poor old Ernie. Cadet Romeo gets taken down, unfortunately. He didn't have a lot of chance, I have to say. And now you can see these guys taking fire from two directions. This is the problem they're going to have. You can see, there we go. Down goes Clink with an arrow right through the chest. Horrible stuff. And there goes another member. Slayer Boy taken down. And there's a 15th Archers are really focusing their attention really well today. So you can see now, looks like a fire going on. As you can see, the Spearmen of the Capuche pushing up onto the right-hand flank to then take on Rubbish Guy and friends, you can see. But at the same time, you've obviously got these guys working around the rear. So there's the 15th now working in. And here come the 77 Wide Cavalry. Oh, yes. Here they come. Hostile Balls gets taken down. And now you can see Rostafarius out there, and Archer Quick One taking down poor old Archer Ian. Oh, that's really nasty at the moment. Rostafarius is caught up. He's going to have to try and move as quickly as he can, and this has turned into an absolute melee. Oh my goodness, this is brutal battlefield goings on here between all the various teams. As you can see, Crispy King gets killed, and down goes the King. The Knights, Gaz, and the King Centris taken down. And now you can see them moving in on the final remaining members. Oh, they're not going to survive. Look at that. The amount of arrows in that man's shield is pretty insane. Now they finished off those members. They're going to move up. Here's Brewmaster Radwell leading the charge. Who said girls don't belong in battle? And it seems that Radwell's taking a rather backward approach here. Moving back to the shield wall. As Butterball gets taken down. Canny Miller also then taken down. So here we go. Gerald M also in there. And Skeleton K9. So you can see them continuing their fire. And Abercrombie kills Sergeant Ollie. Fantastic. Serves him right for having a bad haircut. And you can see Snarfy obviously moving in. Now this is where it comes important. This is where the shield wall moves in very carefully. And at the same time you have a quick charge in here by the 15th to try and break up these men and try and do some damage as well as they can. You can see now there's Duke Punishment in with a great big huge chopper. Oh, it's just brutal, as you can see. Now you can see he's going to the aid of one of his teammates. As you can see, he's going to try and support his teammate. His teammate gets killed and he gets pushed to the floor and then cut to pieces with the sabre of the enemy. So now, as you can see, Ryder Andrew in there at the moment, going in. Oh, Ryder Andrew taken down by Snecker Mace. Let's see, was that Skeleton K9? There's the quick one, also in. He's got his hammer out, boys and girls. He's got his war hammer ready to go. Give you a good hammering if you're not careful. Poor old Snecker Mace, as you can see, got an arrow in the leg. That's going to hurt. That's going to leave a mark tomorrow. And now you can see up on the far hill, huge amounts of stabby goings on. As you can see, the line infantry now engaging the enemy. And you've got cavalry in there as well. Down goes Highlander Arminas. And it's looking pretty brutal as far as you can see. There's a large man with a hammer. A very, very big hammer indeed. His war hammer. And he was about to use it on one of his teammates, but decided against. So, let's see. Ryder Moofrog and Ryder Callus. And there they are. Up ahead. And the Rhodops are in pursuit. They turn to fight. Oh, look at that. Oh, looks like he took a little bit of a damage. Ryder Callus deciding to turn and fight. And you can see him trying to survive as best he can. Oh, nice attempt at a polearm movement. And down goes his horse. And Ryder Callus is now in a really bad position. And even worse position, he's on the floor. There we go. Fire coming in from all over the place. He takes down one of the enemy horses. Callus is now finished off. And now you can see, obviously, Moofrog finished off by the spiky ball of Sir Token. And we're on to the next round, boys and girls. And so it is apparently the last round for this battle. Now you can see here, this is responsible horse parking. As done by Ryder Callus, as you can see, he doesn't want to run everyone over with a random horse. So he's parked his horse very responsibly. And let's see what's going on. Now you can see the troops getting ready. The Huskars. The Highlanders. The Archers. Along with their shield wall. Captain General of Gondor. Noble Archer. Amber. And there's obviously General LDC. Now, Here are the Huskars. There is the mighty cavalry from the Rhodoks. And we're just waiting to see what happens. Here are their enemies, the Vegirs. Who I have to say, I love this armour. This just looks fantastic. Granted, okay, it looks like they've got a cake tin and a colander on their head, but these are just details that we don't need to worry about. Okay, the less said about Sergeant Ollie, the better, really. You saw him get murdered in the previous battle, which is understandable considering the haircut. Who wouldn't want to murder a man with that kind of haircut? Viking Olaf, with a nice beard. There's Connod. There's Demon Dan, of course. And over here, Tony Crazy. And a gentleman with a very large hammer, James Asari. So, you can now see, up on the hill there, the cavalry. Look at that. Doesn't that look beautiful? Absolutely fantastic. And now we follow, as it looks like this cavalry now, the Ricamaru and friends, coming under pressure from the 15th Cavalry. Ryder Godfrey going in for a little bit of stabby goodness against Charlie the Turtle. Charlie the Turtle trying to defend himself against unnecessary aggression. The turtle could be in trouble. He's running for cover. And there we go. It looks like they've decided to back off as Mr. Turtle manages to escape. And here is the 77Y Cavalry. Now going to maybe move against the 15th. We'll have to wait and see as we move over and watch the 12RE working together with their shield wall. And it seems Viking Olaf is... seems to be a little bit of disagreement in the ranks going on there in the 12RE. But we shall have to wait and see what's going on. As now, you can see the 77Y taking fire up the... Oh no, poor old Derposaurus. Taken down. And now you can see huge amounts of fire. There is the ex-Derposaurus, as you can see. Arrow straight through the chest. And now we're watching to see what's going on. As you can see here, the 15th Huskars got very aggressive. Rurikhan, there he is. There's the man himself, going in with a spiky ball. He's going in for a bit of spiky ball fun as we're watching him make his way in. Well, not so much make his way in as make his way backwards repeatedly. So we're now watching him as he's trying to defend himself against multiple attacks coming in from the enemy Rhodoks. And one of the friends comes to support him. Who is that? That's Gaz moving in to support Rurikhan. So we'll watch Rurikhan. There we go. His enemy is down. And now we watch him as he makes his way into the battlefield and charge in at least the right direction. So you can now see him making his way in towards the battle. And you can see huge amounts of fire. Crazy Horse taking a huge amount of fire coming in. Oh, look at that. Nice kill onto Crazy Horse from the Montfort. And Huskar Numitar gets taken down. And now we can see the charge of the melee. Oh, look at that. Long distance. Lovely javelin to the back of somebody's head. And now you can see... That's Archer Ugai got taken down by Calatravans. Look at these archers. Look at them. Don't they look wonderful? Those fine compound bows and all the rest of it. Just fantastic. So, not so much compound bows. They are, they're very similar. I guess are they more similar to the ones the Mongols used to use, or they're more sort of long bows? But we'll find out. Oh dear. Oh dear. Who was that? That was Duke Fix, who decided to crashed the party and it all went horribly, horribly wrong. So we're watching Slayer Boy as he's making his way in. There's Sergeant Andre with a large hammer. There's Rurikhan on his way in, about to try and do some damage. He's going to take a swing at one of the enemies. Let's see. There we go. He's caught in the battle. He goes in with the spiky ball, blocks the attack, goes in with another spiky ball attack. And now let's see what's going on. Oh, he's got kill stolen again. Poor Rurikhan. So let's see what's going on. As now, there's Perth Highlander of P. Prussia, Highlander Vlad, and the last Delicate. There goes P. Prussia. This is the last man standing, about to not be standing for very long. He's got the entire army after him. They are absolutely going nutty on him. Poor Vlad. Oh, look at those spears, and he is well and truly kebabbed. And Ryder K gets taken down at the same time. So, Moofrog and Andrew and Highlander Jim Jam are the only ones remaining alive. So, Let's see if we can find out what's going on. So, there's Sergeant Ollie. How is he not dead? With that haircut that is a crime against haircuts. So, let's move in. As you can see, the rest of the army proceeding over the hills. Over the hills and far away. Let's see who this is. This looks to be one of the good guys. No, correction. There we go. Auriculus finishes off Jim Jam and Andrew. And ladies and gentlemen, that has been your native battle for this evening. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed what you have seen as the inevitable team killing then begins. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed. And we'll see you again next time. Hopefully for more native line battles. See you later, boys and girls.